Hi everyone, I'm Nirathanka, legal and management consultant from Bangalore. This is the next series of my talk on how to enhance your professional competency. In fact, in the last four occasions, I have given you several aspects of enhancement of competency. This session, I want to start with one of the important competency one has to acquire the HR in the today's business. The competency, what I'm going to talk to you today is the talent acquisition. Talent acquisition is one of the most important competency where we need to enhance so that we are become more responsible and accountable for the business as well as the employees. We'll discuss on that. Just hold on, share the screen so that we can take it further. Yeah, today we'll talk about the talent acquisition. It means the right person for the right job. That's exactly what is the importance of talk today. Friends, as you know, we've got several challenges in the field. Let's go one by one. One of the challenge what we face is that high employee turnover. Whatever you may do, you find the employee turnover is very high. It goes on any percentage, maybe from 10 to 12%, even 20%, depending on the type of institutions, whatever we have. So that's one of the main concern of the challenge of HR today. And another thing is a forced separation due to issue related to performance. Let us assume we select a person in all respects, but when he's put on the job, after 6 months, we find that his performance is low. And then we have to either to terminate him or we have to say, goodbye, gentlemen. This is the kind of thing. So it means that we recruit a person, take a person, but we find it not suitable, then we have to say goodbye to him. This is another thing. Here, we select a person, and then after some time, both the persons, he feels little desperate. He said, I'm not fit for the job. I don't know why I joined this company. This is not the correct profile, what I was looking for. And the HOD might also say, no, I interviewed him. I selected him, but he's not suitable for the job. So this kind of situation definitely comes in many cases we have that becomes a challenge. And the selected person, although qualified, does not meet the requirement of related jobs. We may select a person, we ask question, everything we do, but when the actual task is given to him, comes, then he is not able to meet the requirement of job. That becomes an issue. So that's not a challenge, whatever we have. Then inviting talent people may take constant in case of employee turnover is high and impression is created in the field. This is also true because what happens when people come to know in the field that, oh, in this company we cannot work, and then why should I join this company? So what happened? Invite the applications itself for a particular company become very bad because the news is spread that, okay, we'll not join the company. This is not good. That's not good, and so many things. So this also happens. So there are all these things. One of the challenges whatever we have, and we are on a continuous recruitment also. HR is involved continuous recruitment because of these reasons. Many of the people spend a lot of time only in recruitment processes, and that is there's another challenge what we are facing. Now, one of the main tool is that talent acquisition, that is select the right person to the job, role and assignment. That's our job. We need to do it. So here that comes in. And no doubt, HR is playing a major role in recruitment. No doubt about it. Even today, we are playing a major role in this one. Then why talk about talent acquisition? Okay, we are doing recruitment. We are selecting only. Why this kind of talent acquisition? So this question comes. So let us examine the difference and understand, analyze to how to enhance the competency in human resource management by doing this. Let us examine it. Now here, recruitment and talent acquisition, two sides of the same coin, is not something different, but the lot of difference is there between recruitment and talent acquisition. Let's try to analyze what are the difference. Recruitment, most of us, that it is a very, very mechanical process. Whenever a vacancy comes up, okay, we reach the requisition department, we go through job description, job analysis, what is the requirement, the whole thing we recruit, and then, okay, we dig out from the data bank whatever we have, or we consult an placement consultant, and we submit it to take the biodata, resumes and all that, we examine everything, and then we analyze, okay, the qualification is okay, experience okay, we'll call him for an interview. So this kind of a thing, what we do, and then of course the interview starts, the HR, we definitely involved in the interview processes. We assess his education qualification, experiences, etc. And then we put on to the concerned HOD to whom he is meant to be recruited for. And he also interviews him, everything he does, maybe individually or in joint process, we do it. And then we select the process. So this is a recruitment process. It's not something all of us are doing it, everyone is doing it. It is a mechanical process of recruitment. This is exactly what we're doing. But now, why this kind of a talent acquisition? Now, this strategy is used to focus on finding, attracting, hiring, growing, retaining top talents inside the organization. So this is exactly what is required at talent acquisition. In other words, this is a planned and structured complex action of HR department must do to get best employees. So this is exactly where our talent lies. The main question is, given to our own resources, market position, labor situation, other competitive factors, where and how do we get the talented employees is a big question. So that is exactly the thing what we have to learn about it. So this is exactly why I talk about this. Now today, all of us know that the market is in a fast growth, market expansion, and success every company is looking for. And now every day, as you know, the new technology comes, new technology, adoption to it, and then adaptation, new technology, everything is needed. And moreover, the important thing is the innovation, rapid research and development. So this is a kind of thing what we require from a person with these qualities. Now, globally competitive in terms of technology, quality, and most importantly, the cost. This is one of the challenges by the company or any market. So for this, we need a dedicated, hard-working, with initiative and drive are the artists today as the human resources are concerned. Obviously, without these things, definitely business cannot go on. Hence, the process is shifted from recruitment to talent acquisition. So that is the kind of thing. Now we are driving from mechanical process of recruitment to a new technique of talent acquisition. That is exactly what, because there is a business today with demands. Because a person with a lot of skills is required. If we select right person, then we are putting a right to acquire the talent and then put him onto the job. Let's see how it goes. Now, what do we look for from candidate? And there are two skills, as you know, hard skills and soft skills. But today, most of you may be aware on today's experience, this thing, requirement is that the emphasis is given on the soft skills rather than the hard skills. That's very important. If a person is short in hard skills, no, definitely he can be trained. He can do anything at all. But the soft skills is an extremely important thing where we need to find out from an individual to what extent is the soft skill the person possesses. That is exactly the important thing. Hard skills, of course, hard skills nothing but okay, taking qualification, experience in the field, what we look for, accomplishments, what he has done, then whether he has got some innovative practices, innovative experience he has got, ability to handle technical issues, all these things, we talk in hard skills. Of course, these naturally in our interviews, we focus on this and then we do it. But the thing is, the most important, gentlemen, is that the soft skills. Here, what we need to find out is that what is his passion for work and what is his loyalty to the job. Because once you become loyal to the job, then you become loyal to the company itself. That's very important. We need to assess. What is the level of dedication to work himself and to the company and to the work? Then hard work, then self-motivation. Where does it stand in that? Because if a person is not self-motivated, then he doesn't have a proper soft skills, then he will not be an asset to the company at all in the long run. Then most important, team building and management. Team building and management. What are his capabilities in this? Then problem solving abilities in related to human resource in a team of workers. A problem comes. How does he compete enough to solve the problem, analyze the problem? All these skills are required. A forecast. How far is he able to forecast everything? The forecast the employee issues or forecast any change in the system, any change management. He's in a position to forecast the business, an adaptation to new things. All these things, whether he possesses or not, that's exactly what we need to find out. Then what are his leadership qualities? What are his leadership qualities in leading a people, guiding a people, helping a people, giving importance to it, including motivation to people? What are his levels of leadership? That is exactly what is required. Another thing is how far he is the ownership of the shop floor, or ownership of the work, ownership of the team management. How he takes the ownership on his hand. That's very important. Maybe when a problem comes, okay, let us pass on to the next level. No, that's not the kind of thing. Being an owner, he must analyze himself and then solve the problem, implement it, and guide the people, move the people. That is exactly the ownership. Then what about the human relations? How far he is competitive enough or he was in practice of developing human relations? As you know, without developing human relations, nothing can be done. Today, human are extremely important. So this is exactly the soft skills. So friends, here what happens is that the soft skill checking, examination in the interview process, this is extremely important. Then this is the job of the HR, nobody else. So these assessment of skills, assessment triggers, that is exactly nothing but one of the components of talent acquisition. Most important, I told you already, today in recruitment, in the company looks for a person with soft skills more than the hard skills. We give more importance to soft skills because the entire responsibility is on a person who is going to take the responsibility. So this is exactly what is required. Now here, then what do we do? How do we go through the process? Now here what happens is that whenever a job requirement comes, let's not go with the job descriptions. Of course, the mechanical way of going through the process. No, we have to involve ourselves and in understanding the job responsibilities in detail. We must know. In the previous competencies I told you, you have to develop the competency in all levels, in various disciplines, including production, finance, etc. I have told you already. And when that competence when you acquire, that will help you to understand job responsibilities in a particular job. It can be production, it can be this, it can be any department. So what happens, if you really involve yourself, understand, then you can assess the person very, very clearly whether he's suitable or not. Or you can ask suitable questions and assess his ability and credentials. That's very important. Then what happens, we can always, once we know that, we can always list out the tasks to be carried out, etc. etc. We can do that. Then we can understand what you call implications and of the requirement. Now, just imagine that you yourself is HOD interviewing a person. That's very important. You must have the skill so much that you must assume that you are the concerned HOD who is interviewing him. So that kind of skill, one has to develop the competence of understanding these things. This is extremely important. Let's take the example of a production manager. Now, when you know the production, what are his abilities, what are the sensitive issues, he has to handle it. As you know, a shop floor manager, production manager, rather than the technical skills, soft skills are extremely today because he has to move with people. He has to manage the people. He should not pass on the buck to anybody else. He has to handle himself, talk to the union, discuss the union, handle the workers, everything he must do. That is exactly what is required from a production manager. So when you know the particular job in detail, then it will be easy for you to understand, analyze, and start the recruiting process. So this is one of the important competencies we have to do it. Then what happens when we know all these things? Then uh, you can easily assess a person from a candidate. Under any circumstances, we should isolate from this. Many times when it happens. Okay, HR is interviewed. Okay, now send the candidate to the concerned HOD. Let HOD select it. And we don't know how the HOD is analyzing. We don't know how the HOD is assessing his capability of soft skills and how he may not know that. We should not pass on the buck. We have to be with him in the sense that it's a combination. Once you see yourself and the concerned HOD sit together with all these attributes, then what happens? You form a good team in selecting a person right person for the right job. So this is possible. You have to give a supporting role to the HOD in selecting the proper person. This is exactly what is required for the HR, and you have to put in a lot of effort in knowing all these things. See, absolutely required. Otherwise, what happens is a mechanical process. I told you already. In today's world, mechanical process will never work. We have to concentrate for talent acquisition. This is exactly what is required. Now here, soft skill assessment, I told you, is purely a task of HR. What is the level of problem solving in a systematic manner? You have to make an assessment. Analysis of any issue and strategy. What is deep strategy and decision he is going to adopt in a particular way, particular thing? And how developing human relations and developing teams. You have to make an assessment. That's HR role. Then collaborative approach with people and his environment. This is very important. He cannot work in isolation. The person has to work in a team with collaboration with everyone, client staff. It can be subordinates, bosses, and management, whatever it is. What is capability of all these things? We have to make an assessment. That's our job. It's not anybody else. Then what is level of passion for work? All these things then assess during the process of interview. All these things. What is the position of work? What are the levels of initiatives? One must be a person with drive and initiative. That's exactly today what we require in the business. Then risk management. How far he is capable of taking the risk management? Is he a person to take the risk and accomplish and take it as a challenge and win it? And what is past experience? Many times what happens is risk management means people go away. Why should I take the responsibility? No, that is not the quality of a person. What is the level of that? We need to make an assessment. Multiple tasks. This is very, very important today. Multiple tasks. How is he capable of handling multiple tasks? Then how has he handled the failures in his own field, in the previous experiences, or it can be anything, any failures? How he has handled the failures to become more success in his next attempt. As we know that a failure is a step of success. How far is being handled? How far is doing it? So this is very important where you need to focus all these things. And the most important, gentlemen, is that what is the level of emotional intelligence, which is extremely essential and most essential. I told you already in the previous presentations what is emotional intelligence. I have given you a lot of brief talk on that. In that, you need to make an assessment of what is level of emotional intelligence. Today, a lot of examples are available. A lot of these things are available. Questions are available. You can study all those things and question him, or you give me tests related to that and assess the level of emotional intelligence. This is exactly what is required in the talent acquisition. Otherwise, it becomes a routine recruitment process. That is not required. Now here, these assessment of both can be done by HR, because once you know the complete job description and it sit in the position of HOD as if you are the person selecting, and with the equipped with the soft skill assessment, then what happens? You have got both skills on you, so that you can play a collaborative role with the concerned HOD in selecting the right person for the right job. So both of you should do this. Then what happens? You in fact you have achieved the accomplishment what you would like to have here. So we should not hesitate in acquiring these techniques. We have to learn. If we don't have it, please try to learn. We should learn it. We should practice it. All these skills is not difficult, gentlemen. All these things can be assessed by suitably developing questions and discussions and interactions. You can also make out by his body language in the interview process. Or people can make out what is his body language, what is his impression on that, what is the impression on this. Create a story and challenging questions to him. We can make out an assessment on all the soft skills without any difficulty. You must do this. Then what happens? Your collaborative approach, which is the most essential thing we have to do. Ultimately, gentlemen, if you do all these things, yes, thus you have acquired the HR competency, additional competency. Gentlemen, with this, I end the talk today. Please keep it in mind and develop your competency in talent acquisition, which is the most essential of the day today. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best.